another edition of Lab Rats. I'm Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And today on the show, as you can guess, we're going to be covering not just your average digital camera, but the really cool, super big, fabulous, expensive ones.
Digital SLRs.
Digital SLRs.
Yeah, I've had a request to cover
Super lens reality.
Digital single lens reflex.
There you go. That's the acronym. Okay, I'm really excited about this because I've never had one of these, and my brother keeps saying, "Oh, those are really cool. I should get one of those." She has one of those. You should get one of those. And I'm like, "Well, why?"
You should listen to him.
Okay, well, digital SLRs demystified after this message. Well, honestly, my brother always says to me, you know, Andy, you use these point and shoots, and you're just basically a camera weenie. And I'm like, but I like them, right? You know, they're small, they fit in your pocket, you know, they've got replaceable batteries, that kind of thing. And he like hauls around one of these guys, you know, digital rebels, EOS 100 Nikon DN 5000. And I'm like, yeah, but who cares?
That model's not out until next year.
So why digital SLR? What's the point?
Well, you certainly shouldn't scoff at something like this. Something that you can just put in your shirt pocket and use is really handy. That's what most people want. Is they want point and shoot. They want to turn it on, take the picture. I don't know why I said. See, and there's one problem with this right here that you'll see right away. It's usually pretty easy. You'll shoot over there and get the shot. But you notice when I was shooting at you right here, the reaction time was really slow.
So I have time to do this.
It took a while to focus, right? You had time to preen.
Not natural.
Right, so right here with Biff, it's pretty easy because he's just sort of zonked. He's not moving. But if he was moving all around the place, then you'd have a hard time getting him in time.
Well, shoot me with one of those guys. These guys are faster, or what?
By the time you hit him like that, it would be gone. So you want to be able to do this. Just shoot.
This is your moment.
Done. It's done. I'm already done.
Right. You've caught the cat in his natural state.
I zoomed, I focused, and I got him. And I got you too. And that's about the same time that it took you to do one shot.
So these guys give you like they capture the moment after the Kodak moment.
Right.
And these guys let you catch the Kodak moment.
Right. And you can get those into the mode
like that?
where they will do.
Gio's our off-camera director today, and he's like, yeah, cool. He's a camera guy.
Yeah. So definitely with this, you can get these into that mode where you can get it just like that, but you got to go scroll through all the menu systems, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of pain to get to it for the most part.
I have to say, I never use the menu system on these guys, even though they sometimes have some cool stuff in them. It's just pain, right? Click in half an hour before you get the picture, and
Right, and you notice the other thing about this is that you're holding this out at this angle right here. And
yes, you got this is picture of my nostril.
Yeah, disgusting.
Next week we're going to cover nose hair trimmers.
Yes, please. So you're holding it out at this unnatural angle. You might be holding it down here or like holding it over here, and that's not what you're seeing right here. But when you're holding this camera up here and you're looking right through the lens exactly from your head, right from your eye, straight over to there, you're getting exactly the image you want.
Now you're looking straight through, like you're looking at the viewfinder, and that's actually going straight through the lens as opposed to bouncing around inside, or what?
It's not exactly going straight through the lens, and that's why they call this single lens reflex. You've actually got these lenses which come off. Now that's the distinguishing feature between point and shoot and digital SLR. And in here, you've got a mirror inside here.
Get in here, Ryan. Let's have a quick look at this, nice and tight.
So when you have an image coming through, it comes through the lens, hits the mirror, bounces up into the viewfinder, and then back out here.
Okay, yeah.
So that's what you're seeing up until the moment you press the shutter.
All right.
Now when you press the shutter, and I don't know whether you can see inside there, the mirror flips up.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And then it hits the sensor in behind. So now that's one of the downsides of digital SLR over point and shoot. We're looking over at Ryan here, and we're taking the shot, and we can actually see it as we're framing it through here. You can't use the LCD on the back of most digital SLRs to do that, with the one exception. There's a number of new ones out with a live MOS sensor, which
Live
is
MOS,
It's
okay.
a type of CMOS.
Yeah.
CMOS is a type of sensor. CCD is the other major type.
Okay.
Live MOS will actually allow you to split the beam so that it's going into here and hitting the sensor at the same time.
Okay.
But there's only a few cameras that do that at this point.
Now these guys, I mean, these guys go up to what? They're 5 megapixel, 6 megapixel, 8 megapixel, and I have one from
Right.
Olympus is 8 megapixel now, and it's $300-400.
Yeah, those
These
leave up
guys
to 10.
10 megapixels.
No, these ones go up to 10.
Okay,
These
right.
ones are up to, in the prosumer level, you're looking around 12 is probably the good sweet spot for these.
So are the picture's that much better though at that level, or?
What are you going to be doing with this image in the end? Are you going to be using this for taking pictures and sending them out over email? Are you going to be putting them on the web, on Flickr, and just looking at them on the screen? Or are you going to be taking pictures and printing them?
Yeah.
Or doing high
Like this?
size? Right, okay, so
Look,
there we
it's
go.
my niece. My niece and my brother.
So something like
Audrey.
this, I would assume, is probably about a 5 megapixel image to get a good quality
Yeah.
at 8 by 10. If you're
Yeah.
going to be looking at something like 11 by 17, you're probably going to want 6 to 8.
So I've wanted to turn my niece into a poster, 8 megapixel.
And we should say that depending on the compression level of your camera, they will scale up quite a lot better, but you will see artifacts inside them. So
Yeah.
you're looking at 12 megapixel on these ones
Yeah.
if you really want high resolution images
Right.
that scale really well.
Okay, and plus the glass itself, right? You talk about removal. I mean, these guys, these lenses are cost as much as the camera in some cases.
In some cases, right.
And that will
so-
give you a pristine picture. Is that important?
Right. Generally, the better the quality of the lens, the better quality of picture you're going to get, as long as your sensor is also up to the task.
I mean, look at the glass here, and this is all look at the dinky glass in here. This is probably plastic half the time, I would bet.
Right, and the sensors inside these are larger than the ones you'll typically find in point-and-shoot
Right.
cameras, so it'll give you a better picture. You can get better shots in lower light because of that.
Went to sleep.
Yes, and it's just generally a better overall quality of picture because, I mean, these ones right here, they're just tiny little components in here that they throw together. Most of them work really well for what they are, but for professional quality, you're not going to get it out of most of these. I'm going to say that this F10 from Fuji
No,
I really like a lot.
I do
but-
have some notes here from Gio. He said,
Gio, work on your handwriting.
Oh no, you said lens variety. We've already covered lens variety. Okay. See, I don't know anything about this but topic, so I need notes.
Yes,
Exposure
sir.
control is the next. This is a super fun thing. What is exposure?
Well, before we go to that,
Is it
I
like
do want to talk
is this
about,
kind of exposure?
Please. This is a G-rated show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry.
We try to be anyways. I want to talk about lens variety really quickly before we get onto that though, just because that is the really key selling point of digital SLRs. If you don't like the lens that comes with your camera, and generally if your digital SLR comes with a lens, it's probably a pretty poopy lens. You're not going to
Don't buy
get...
poopy lens.
Yeah, so it's going to be like maybe 3 times optical zoom in there.
Yeah.
It's going to be not quite so good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this one right here is pretty good. This one is a... let's see. This one right here is a 10 times zoom in here. It's about $600. That's less than the price of the camera.
Yeah.
This one's actually quite good. But when you start getting into things like wide angle lenses, this one's 11 millimeter. It means you get a wider angle of exposure. So I'm gonna just flip this one on and take a picture. And now I've got pretty much all of the set here. This one right here is a couple grand, I believe.
What, for the lens itself?
For the lens
a piece
itself.
of glass?
For a piece of glass. Now you got to remember that these pieces of glass in here is actually a series of lenses.
Okay.
A series of pieces of glass in here that redirect the image that's coming from out there onto the sensor exactly right, so that there's no distortion, no color imperfections in that. So it's really important to have all of those lenses ground properly and put in the right order. And so if you buy a cheap lens, it'll make the picture suffer.
Right, okay.
Now you can
It's
get
12 megapixels of blur.
12 megapixels of blur, exactly. So
Right.
if you've got a lousy lens but a really great sensor, it's going to be a lousy picture.
Right, okay,
So you
gotcha.
want to match those two. And you can get like a lens that's even wider angle or long telephoto, and you can literally get them up to tens of thousands of dollars for the lens themselves.
Well, that's past my budget. But
Yeah,
what I really
past
want to
mine
know
as
is
well.
like is this super fun like automatic feature thingies? You know, there's a dial thing you can turn here, and there's lots of buttons and stuff.
The nice thing, I think a lot of people find digital SLRs intimidating because
Well,
they
I do.
assume that they are fully
Hands up if you
manual.
find them intimidating. I know you don't. Okay. Well, what are they? I mean, what's the poop?
I think that people found them intimidating because they assumed that they are manual. You have to know what you're doing.
Don't you? Don't you need a course and a degree?
You
and,
don't need to take a
you know,
course to
be
do
best
this.
friends with Geo.
It's always a good idea to be best friends with Geo, but one of the nice things about this, you can take a course, and it doesn't hurt if you got some time on your hands and you really want to learn
Yeah.
some techniques.
Yeah.
Fine, but when you have a digital camera like this,
Yeah.
you take a picture right here, and guess what? That photo didn't work. Well, let's tweak the settings, delete that one, and then try again. And you know how much that cost you? Nothing.
Yeah, I suppose.
Back in the old days, you had to
was
spend a
film.
lot of money on
Right, all
film.
the rest of it.
Now you don't have to. So you can take the time and just learn on your own. That didn't work, so why didn't it work? Let's play with it. So you can teach yourself a lot just
Because I had
by
something between my
playing
teeth.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
fine. So okay.
So now we do have those things.
Oh yeah, tell me what
Yeah.
these thingies are.
Right. So you've got as you
Get in here,
said,
right? Can you see these?
you've got the automatic controls in here, and they do actually have automatic controls on most digital SLR cameras. So if you don't really want to learn what your aperture or your shutter speed does, then you can just set it into an automatic mode and just go.
So that's the little peephole and the flower and that sort of thing.
Right. So these are scene modes. So the
Oh, I have this on this guy.
Right, so you'll see those on most point-and-shoot cameras. So
Okay.
you've got like a portrait mode on here for taking pictures of people.
cute girl mode.
Landscape for
Mountain mode.
mountains. The little flower always means macro, so if you want to get up close.
Tulip mode.
Yeah, so you generally have a bunch of those, but on most digital SLR cameras, you'll see M, S, A, and P. Now there's a couple cameras that don't have them marked exactly as that, but in the manual they'll have equivalencies to that.
Marvelous, awesome, super, and P for plain. No.
I'm going to let you take over this show next week because you just got it all down.
MASP. MSPA. What is it? What does it mean?
So
M.
M is for manual. If you know all of the settings that you want to use, you would go into that mode and you can adjust everything manually.
Manually. Okay.
Right.
You're the tweaker. You're camera tweaker.
You're
guy.
the tweaker.
Okay.
So when you go to S, and let's just switch it over to here. So we're going to switch it into S mode. That's shutter priority mode.
Okay.
So you already know that you want that picture to go at 1/100th of a second. It's got to go at that speed. So bam, set it to 1/100th of a second. The camera will automatically adjust the other settings, the aperture, everything else, and it'll just make sure that it fits.
Okay.
You go to A. That's not automatic. That's
Awesome.
what I thought when it
A
first.
for
And it's not
awesome, Lord.
awesome. It's aperture.
Okay.
Aperture priorities.
So what's an aperture?
The aperture is there's a series of gills in here, I believe, and it just opens up the aperture. So more light hits the sensor, less light hits the sensor.
Oh, that's like your pupil, right? Your pupil's dilating.
Yeah. So
Letting light into your eye.
just imagine looking in the mirror, seeing your pupil opening up. So in the dark, it'll open up wide, and in the brightness, it'll close right down to a tiny little pupil.
we
And
should
that's-
do a food demo sometimes about that.
I could poke you in the eye.
Okay.
So the aperture works roughly the same way. So you want to either widen it or narrow it to make sure you get the right amount
Enough
of light.
light.
So in the brightness, you want to narrow it down. So and then the last one of those is P, which is program mode. So that's the closest you're going to get to automatic while still having some manual control over here. So if you have only M, S, A, and P and you don't want to think about it, go to P.
Go to P.
And just shoot.
P for perfect.
Bam.
Perfect mode. P for perfect mode. Okay.
Perfect shot every time.
All right, are you done? Could we have to go and listen to a message from one of our sponsors?
Pretty much done. The only other thing to talk about is the manual focus. That's one of the really nice features of this. So you can switch between manual and automatic focus. Automatic will take care of it. It'll take a bit of time to find the focus. If you know what you want to do with the focus, then you can just manually set it. Bam.
Cool.
And that the reaction time when you're using manual focus is instant.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, when you're using automatic, there's a little bit of time as it figures that out.
All right, well, on that note, let's take a break, and we'll be right back with final thoughts.
It's Camtasia Studio, the fabulous screencast software from TechSmith. Record what's on your screen, narrate it, and share it online. Create demos, screencasts, training, and more. And rest assured, Camtasia Studio is made by wholesome programmers in Okemos, Michigan, the home of the hardiest geeks around.
Quick to learn, easy to use, it's Camtasia Studio.
Download your free trial and start screencasting today.
Well, you know what? I think my cat absolutely loves getting his photograph taken. I mean, this is the first episode where he spent his entire show on the desk.
Yeah, I was talking about the fast reaction time. If you've got your manual focus, you've got your aperture set already, you've got everything set the way you want it, reaction time is like really quick. If you're going on to automatic, it's going to slow down. That's all I wanted to say about that.
Last question for you before we call it a day here. Where's the film? What's the story with the film? I know it's digital, so...
It is digital.
What do you use, what cards do you use on those guys?
Well, up until recently, I'd have said there was one answer and one answer alone for digital SLRs, and that was compact flash.
Yeah, right.
And compact flash was one of the first flash card technologies out of the gate with digital cameras.
I remember these because I mean these guys were in like the HP 200, C200, way back, the very first digital cameras. So obviously they've been stuck around for a good reason, I guess.
Yeah, they were the ones that were adopted by professional photographers for the SLRs because they react really fast, high capacity in this form factor, and they just scale really well. Now, when we were taking those photographs, like bam, 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 that's a lot of information when you're looking at 12 megapixels. So you want to have a card that can keep up to that, otherwise there's going to be bottlenecks. So you're sitting there waiting for it to save that image, bam, while it just pulls its way through
the smaller
camera.
cards aren't so fast, like the SD, the XD, all those little titchy cards that you put in these guys. They're not.
SD is getting really good, and that's the other card that is starting to make its way into the digital SLR space. Some of the lower-end Nikons are using SDs now. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that if you want the fastest card available. It is still very much a prosumer kind of card rather than a pro card. You definitely still want to stick with the CFs.
Cool. I think I want an SLR for Christmas now. You've actually made me.
You can have this one.
Yay! Merry Christmas, Andy. Okay, some final thoughts before we wrap today. I do want to. Actually, we have some photographs of a couple of people, do we?
Yes.
Shall we have a look at them real quick?
We have one, anyways.
Okay. And while Sean's doing that, I want to tell you about Little Geeks. This is a new charity I've created to take donated computers from you guys out there in iPod land and podcast land, and give them to unprivileged kids. So we've got a pilot project here in Toronto. We're trying to give 500 computers to 500 kids before February. So go to littlegeeks.org and find out more about what we're doing. And if you can help out, it would be great. If you have a computer you can send us, even better. So that's my little plug for today. And then finally, pictures.
Pictures. We've got George and Louie here up on the screen.
Hey, they got the cheese hats.
They've got cheese hats. Now one of our fans decided to make cheese hats for his cats after seeing our episode last week.
Oh, so cute. George and Louie. Who sent that in? Do you remember?
We can find out.
We'll find it. We'll put it here on the screen. Right here. This person here.
And please, fans, do not strangle your cats in an effort to send us photographs.
No, don't hurt your pets.
And more pictures of you guys.
But yeah. And this is one of the things you guys are doing. You're you're sending us pictures of your cars and your cats and like obscure pictures of your faces. We want to see you guys. So
don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Absolutely. All right. That's it for us. Thanks for watching Lab Rats today and for downloading us. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And we'll see you next time.
Are you ready? Try this at home.
Yeah, just give me a
See how
thought.
long you guys can go.
Just give me a count of 10. Down from like when we hit 10, give me a 5 count. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then if we go over, just go. Okay, we're 0, and then we're 1, now we're 2, or 3 over, 4 over, whatever. And you might want to do the wrap kind of thing if I'm going on. Yeah, wrap it up. Hey. It's mouse hacky sack. Oh, cat's coming.